The Forgotten Valley Between New Zealand and Australia. Part 1. The Mysterious Discovery. Have you ever wondered if there is still a place on Earth that has never truly been discovered? Not because it is hidden on a map, not because no one has searched for it, but because nature itself refuses to let people find it. Today I want to tell you a story that begins between two of the world's most beautiful countries, New Zealand and Australia. This is not a story about treasure. It is not a story about war. It is a story about a mysterious valley that appeared to exist, but only for those who were willing to believe. Our story begins on a cold winter morning near the Tasman Sea. Captain Ethan Walker, an experienced Australian helicopter pilot, had spent over 20 years flying rescue missions across the rugged coastlines of Australia. Nothing surprised him anymore, or at least, that's what he believed. On that particular morning, the weather forecast promised clear skies. The ocean looked calm, the wind was gentle, everything seemed perfectly normal. But just 40 minutes into his routine patrol flight, something unexpected happened. His navigation system suddenly lost signal. The GPS screen turned completely black, his radio filled with strange static. Then, a soft sound echoed through his headset. Not music, not another pilot. It sounded almost like someone whispering his name. "Ethan!" He quickly looked around the cockpit. No one was there. His heartbeat became faster. Professional pilots don't panic. But this felt different. Moments later, a strange green light appeared beneath the clouds. At first, Ethan thought it was sunlight reflecting from the ocean. But the light wasn't moving with the waves. It was perfectly still. Curious, he carefully lowered the helicopter. As the clouds slowly opened, something unbelievable appeared below. A massive hidden valley, surrounded by towering cliffs, covered with forests brighter than emerald. Crystal clear rivers twisted through the landscape like silver ribbons. Waterfalls crashed from impossible heights, and the entire valley seemed untouched by the modern world. It wasn't marked on any map. No roads, no buildings, no signs of human life, only silence. Deep, ancient, almost magical silence. Ethan couldn't believe his eyes. He had flown this route hundreds of times. How could an entire valley remain hidden? He circled above it. The strange green light disappeared. Suddenly, his helicopter instruments came back online. GPS restored, radio working perfectly. Everything returned to normal. It was as if nothing had happened. Shaken but determined, Ethan landed safely back at his base in Australia. That evening, he shared the discovery with his colleagues. Everyone laughed. Some believed he had become disoriented. Others blamed unusual weather conditions. One scientist even suggested it was an optical illusion. But Ethan knew exactly what he had seen. That night, he couldn't sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the hidden valley, the waterfalls, the glowing forests, and he kept hearing the mysterious whisper. Ethan. The next morning, he made a decision that would change his life forever. He contacted Dr. Amelia Carter, a renowned environmental researcher from New Zealand. She had spent years studying remote forests, unexplored ecosystems, and rare wildlife across the South Pacific. When Ethan described the valley, Amelia remained silent for several seconds. Then she asked one simple question. "Did you see the green light?" Ethan froze. He had never mentioned the light. How could she possibly know? Without another word, Amelia whispered, "I've been searching for that place for 15 years. And that was the moment their incredible journey truly began. The Forgotten Valley Between New Zealand and Australia. Part 2. The Journey into the Unknown. Ethan could barely believe what he had just heard. "You've been searching for this place for 15 years?" he asked. Dr. Amelia Carter nodded slowly. "It isn't just a legend," she said quietly. "A handful of explorers have reported strange green lights over the Tasman Sea for more than a century. Most people dismissed the stories. Those who tried to find the valley never returned with any proof." 3 days later, Ethan flew to New Zealand to meet Amelia in person. Inside her research office, the walls were covered with old maps, satellite images, and faded expedition photographs. On one table lay a weathered journal written in 1908. Amelia carefully opened it. The writer was a British explorer, she explained. He claimed to have discovered a hidden valley filled with glowing forests, but when he tried to return, The valley had completely disappeared. Ethan felt a chill run down his spine. "This can't be a coincidence," he whispered. Amelia pointed to a hand-drawn sketch inside the journal. It showed the same towering cliffs, the same waterfalls, and a strange green light floating above the valley. "It matches your description exactly," she said. The two decided there was only one way to uncover the truth. They would go back. After weeks of careful planning, they assembled a small expedition team of scientists, photographers, and survival experts. Every member carried modern GPS devices, satellite phones, emergency supplies, and high-resolution cameras. If the valley truly existed, they would finally prove it to the world. A week later, their helicopter lifted off from the South Island of New Zealand. The weather looked perfect. The sea below was calm. Everything seemed exactly as before. For nearly an hour, nothing unusual happened. Then, every GPS screen suddenly went blank. The satellite phones lost connection. The radio filled with the same strange static Ethan had heard before. No one spoke. Everyone looked at each other in silence. Moments later, the mysterious green light appeared once again beneath the clouds. "It's here," Amelia whispered. Ethan slowly guided the helicopter downward. The clouds parted. The hidden valley emerged once more, even more beautiful than before. The rivers sparkled like liquid crystal. Birds with brilliant blue feathers flew above ancient trees. Flowers covered the valley floor in colors none of them had ever seen. For a few moments, nobody remembered to speak. They simply stared in complete amazement. Finally, Ethan found a safe clearing and landed the helicopter. As soon as their feet touched the ground, a warm breeze swept across the valley. The air smelled fresh, sweet, and unlike anything they had ever experienced. Then something unexpected happened. Every compass in the team began spinning wildly. The digital watches froze at exactly 11:11, and deep inside the forest, someone, or something, let out a long, haunting call. The team looked toward the trees. They realized they were no longer alone. The Forgotten Valley between New Zealand and Australia. Part 3, The Hidden Guardians. The haunting call echoed through the forest. No one moved. The sound was unlike anything they had ever heard. It wasn't the cry of a bird, nor the roar of an animal. It sounded almost human. Ethan slowly raised his camera. "Did everyone hear that?" he whispered. Every member of the team nodded silently. Then, the trees began to move. Not because of the wind. Something was walking between them. A tall figure stepped into the sunlight. Everyone froze. It looked human, but not entirely. Its clothes were woven. Part 4. The Lost City of Time. The silent guardians led the team deeper into the glowing forest. Every step felt unreal. The air shimmered with tiny green lights that floated like stars beneath the trees. No birds sang, no insects buzzed. The valley was perfectly silent. After nearly an hour of walking, the forest slowly opened into an enormous clearing. Everyone stopped. Before them stood a magnificent ancient city. Towering stone structures reached toward the sky. Massive arches were covered with glowing vines. Crystal pillars reflected emerald light across the entire valley. It looked older than any civilization ever discovered. Yet somehow, everything remained untouched. "There is no way this place has survived for thousands of years," Ethan whispered. Dr. Amelia slowly shook her head. "Maybe it didn't survive. Maybe time simply forgot this place." One of the guardians walked toward a giant circular monument in the center of the city. Its surface was carved with thousands of glowing symbols. As the guardian placed a hand on the stone, the entire monument came alive. Bright green light shot into the sky. The ground trembled. Then something incredible happened. Images appeared in the air like living holograms. The team watched in complete silence. They saw oceans rising, continents shifting, ancient forests growing, civilizations being born and disappearing. It was as if the monument was showing the complete history of Earth. Then the images suddenly changed. The final vision showed something no one expected. The Forgotten Valley, hidden beneath a powerful energy field, invisible to satellites. invisible to aircraft, invisible even to time itself. This place isn't hiding from humanity, Amelia whispered. It's protecting humanity. Before anyone could ask what she meant, a deep rumble echoed beneath the city. The glowing crystals began to pulse faster. The Guardians looked at one another with concern. For the first time, fear appeared on their faces. The oldest Guardian stepped forward and finally spoke. His voice was calm, but urgent. The seal is weakening. Suddenly, the bright green sky darkened. A massive crack of light split across the heavens. Whatever had been sleeping beneath the valley was beginning to awaken, to be continued. Part 5. The Secret That Changed Everything. The light slowly faded. The mysterious Guardian stepped forward, its glowing eyes fixed on the explorers. Then, to everyone's astonishment, it spoke, not with its mouth, but directly into their minds. This valley was never meant to be found. A wave of silence swept through the group. Dr. Amelia felt tears welling in her eyes. For years, she had searched for proof that the Forgotten Valley was real. Now, the valley itself was speaking to them. The Guardian continued, "Long before your civilizations existed, this place protected the balance of nature. Every rare plant, every ancient creature, every hidden river survived, because humans never reached us." Ethan slowly lowered his camera. For the first time in his career, he chose not to record. The Guardian showed them incredible visions, towering forests stretching beyond imagination, creatures thought to be extinct walking peacefully, crystal rivers glowing beneath the stars. The valley was not simply a hidden place, it was Earth's final untouched sanctuary. Then came the warning. If the outside world discovers this valley, greed will destroy it within a single generation. The team looked at one another. No one argued, no one disagreed. They already knew the truth. History had repeated itself countless times. Beautiful places became tourist attractions. Rare animals disappeared. Ancient forests vanished. The Guardian stepped aside. A narrow path appeared through the trees. You may leave, but you must decide what story you will tell the world. Hours later, the team finally emerged from the wilderness. Rescue helicopters found them the next morning. News reporters surrounded them. What did you discover? Were the legends true? Did you find the lost valley? Dr. Amelia smiled quietly. We found something beautiful, she said, but some places deserve to remain a mystery. Only Ethan understood what she truly meant. Years later, his notebook remained locked away. The photographs were never published. The GPS coordinates were erased forever. Some secrets are more valuable when they are protected than when they are revealed. And perhaps, somewhere between New Zealand and Australia, hidden beneath ancient forests and endless mist, the Forgotten Valley still waits, not to be discovered, but to remain exactly as nature intended. The end.